Determination of artificial sweeteners by HPLC. Sample preparation. You're provided with the following stock solutions: a 20 parts per million solution of theophylline, a 40 parts per million of caffeine, and a 50 parts per million of benzoate. From these stock solutions, you'll be required to make a 1 in 10 dilution from each standard solution. Obtain 3 10 milliliter volumetric flasks and label them with the appropriate standard. Using an auto pipette, take a 1 milliliter aliquot of the standard solution and dispense it into the corresponding 10 milliliters volumetric flask. Fill the flask up with distilled water until approximately 1 centimeter under the calibrated mark. Using a bulb pipette, make up to the mark dropwise until the bottom of the meniscus sits just on top of the calibrated line. Mix well. You're also provided with a mix standard containing 20 parts per million theophylline, 40 parts per million of caffeine, and a 50 parts per million of benzoate. This mix standard does not need to be diluted. Next, you need to prepare your soft drink samples. Pour some soft drink into a beaker until approximately half full. Place the sample into a sonic bath and run the bath for 1 minute to degas the sample. If after 1 minute the sample still contains visible bubbles, run the bath again for 1 minute and proceed to do this until all the bubbles have been removed. You'll need to make a 1 in 50 and a 1 in 100 dilution of each of the soft drinks. Dispense 1 milliliter of the soft drink into a 50 milliliter volumetric flask and another 1 milliliter into a 100 milliliter volumetric flask. The samples also require a 20 parts per million theophylline in each flask to act as an internal standard. Calculate the amount of the initial theophylline stock solution required to achieve this concentration in the appropriate volumetric flasks. Make the flasks up to the mark using distilled water. Mix well. Prior to analysing the samples on the HPLC, you're required to filter the samples using a syringe and membrane. Remove the filter from the syringe and pull out the plunger. Replace the filter on the end of the syringe. Pour approximately 5 milliliters of the sample into the syringe. Replace the plunger into the syringe and push the plunger down slowly so that the sample passes through the membrane filter. Discard the first few mils of the eluent and then collect the rest of the eluent in a sample bottle. Make sure you label the bottles with the corresponding sample. The standard solutions and the samples are now ready to be analysed on the HPLC.